everybody. Welcome to the Blue Collar Beer Gentleman. I'm Chris, and I created this channel because I'm a fan of craft beer, but I'm on a limited budget, and so I wanted to demonstrate to all of my friends and family that it is in fact possible to enjoy craft beer without breaking the bank, and so I created this channel for that purpose. So most of the beers that I review on here usually come in around the $2 price range, and such is the case with today's selection. I paid $2 for this 12-ounce can of Ready Set Gose from UINTA Brewing. Let's see if I can get this to the point where it doesn't have such glare on it. You can actually see Ready Set Gose, as you can see there. Ale brewed with salt and organic coriander. This has a, let's see, 4% ABV. And do I have IBUs on it? No, I do not. Trying to find the parameters for Gose can be very difficult. Usually I go to BJCP. Those of you who aren't aware, BJCP is Beer Judging Certification Program. They have an app. It's very handy. It tells you what to expect from a particular variety. They have mostly domestic selections, but they also have some foreign selections in there, such as, you know, if you get an actual Czech Pilsner, things like that, what to look for. But anyway, the case being that there's nothing listed for Gose, so I went to, let's see, I think it was Brewery DB, yes, said that the a Gose should come in between 4.4 and 5.4 in the ABV with 10 to 15 IBUs. This has a 4% ABV, so it's actually low for a Gose. 20 IBUs puts it actually kind of high in the IBUs, so it's low in ABV but high in bitter. And I don't know where I got that 20. I'm going to assume that I got it from Untapped. Believe it or not, I actually did have this beer just a little over 3 years ago. At that time, I gave it a 3.75. I'm not quite sure why it didn't get a review, but I've gone through my records, and I can't seem to find this beer reviewed. I can find it, you know, on Untapped when I had it, like I said, back in October of 2016, when I gave it a 3.75, but I can't seem to find a review for it. So there's the case for that. Now, just some remarks from the reviewing community. 22 of my friends on Untapped have given it a cumulative score of 3.25. 27,000 of us have given it a cumulative score of 3.29. Beer Advocate has only had 272 rankings, giving it a cumulative score of 81, which on their scale is a good ranking. One thing we did learn from our friends at my hometown brewery of Boulevard is that a Gose, as you see here, Ready Set Gose, G-O-S-E, is a German style of low alcohol sour wheat ale. A Gose, G-U-E-U-Z-E, is a blend of Belgian lambic beers. So this is a German style. This is a German style of low alcohol wheat sour wheat ale. So there you have it. That's what a Gose is. According to Beer Advocate, you should be using a Pilsner glass. This is labeled as a Pilsner glass. I know some of you out there are saying this is not, in fact, a Pilsner glass because it goes down past the triangular or conical shape of the beer. What I have to tell you about that, my friends, is if I were to call this a Pokal, you would be right. I would be incorrect labeling it as such because a Pokal is, in fact, a conical glass that comes down to a point like so. But this is the American take on the Pilsner glass. It comes to this cone shape and then fans back out. And it is, in fact, a Pilsner glass. So you want to argue with me about that? You know, bring it on. Always glad to talk to people about it. But that is why it is a Pilsner glass. It is not a Pokal. Let's see how this pours. Well, this is pouring what you're seeing right now in the camera is about, oh, I'd say 2 shades darker than it actually is. I'm getting a nice head on that. I'm going to describe that as medium-high carbonation, not crazy carbonation, but still pretty high. Maybe I will label that as actual high carbonation. It's kind of hazy, a little more than I was expecting, but I do have lots of carbonation. And as you can see, that head isn't particularly going anywhere. And yeah, you are seeing about 2 shades darker on the camera. Unfortunately, with this shoestring budget that I have, that's the best I can do with lighting and or my camera, but yeah, you're seeing about 2 shades darker than it truly is. And as I said, it is a little hazy. We got lots of carbonation. I can see my finger through there, but it is rather blurry. That head doesn't seem to be going much of anywhere, so that's a very resilient head. I'm going to give this a quick beard wipe, see what I come across. And I smell the salt. As it says here, ale brewed with salt and organic coriander. I smell that salt, that's for sure. And now I'm smelling some of that wheatiness, sour wheat. So I'm getting some of the sour smell. Let's stick my schnoz directly and see what I can come up with. Okay, now I'm definitely getting the Brett from that sour. I'm getting a lot of wheat. Um, Not so much hops or even malt, but I am sure getting that wheat. So I'm going to quit yapping my flap and get to drinking. Cheers. Well, last time my complaint was that this wasn't sour enough, but I think actually it is. It is a sour. It's not a bitter. Sour comes through in a different way than bitter does, and I think I've been kind of mistaking or incorrectly not giving credit to sour because it doesn't have the bitterness factor. But bitter is not the same as sour. This is in fact a sour beer. I'm going to describe that mouthfeel as probably medium. There's a little bit of spikiness to it. There's no alcohol burn with the 4% ABV. You wouldn't expect much of an alcohol burn. The flavor is in fact sour. It's very much what it is supposed to be. It's a sour wheat ale. I'm getting a lot of sour. I'm getting the wheat. I'm not getting so much the coriander. I'm not getting much of a spice profile. I'm getting the saltiness and it's good and I'm enjoying it. I can see why I gave it a 3.75 before. Actually, I think I may have been a little too stern. I think it might actually deserve the 3.75 on the beer itself and the extra 0.25 just for coming in a can. And those of you who watch this channel regularly know that I do usually give beers an extra 0.25 on my untapped scale if they come in with a can. So there's that can one more time again. You can see the racer out there. I'm assuming he's out there on the salt mines in Utah. UINTA is in fact a Utah brewer. So getting back to this specific beer, it's a sour wheat ale. That's exactly what it is. And I believe the beer itself deserves a 3.75. The fact that it came in a can, it gets another 0.25. So I am going to rectify my 3.75 and give it a full 4.0. I think y'all were being a little too hard on this beer, quite frankly. And I will say this with Uinta, boy, it's really hit or miss with them. With me, I either love what they've got or I'm just not crazy about it at all. This one I'm very happy with. This is a very good end of summer, first part of fall beer. Of course, we're into November, but nonetheless, this is still. I mean, I live in the desert. Right now, as I say this, I think it's like 75 degrees, perhaps even 80. So, summer lasts all year long here, and drinking summer ales in November is no big deal here. But I do like this beer, and I am going to be giving it the 4.0. And for $1.99, you can't go wrong. So next summer, I'll be getting more of this. Guys, if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, drink good beer and don't break the bank doing it. Cheers.